I almost made it on time. 8:31. Hello, Lynn.
Hey, hey.
I almost got here on time. Let me just change the caption. We're live right now on fakeologist.com. How's everybody tonight?
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. I'm trying to be on time, but I hate to tell you, I was watching more reaction videos to Angine de Poitrine.
To who? To what?
Oh, it was last day's discussion. There's a band out of Quebec that went viral.
Oh, that band.
I went, yeah, I'm behind the times. I'm not current, but my brother is more current. So he introduced me to this, and I can't stop watching reaction videos. I should just make this a reaction video to the news, this show.
Yeah, I've seen these reaction videos to classic songs,
Yeah.
and it's kind of strange in a way because I'm realizing, oh my God, these young people grew up without ever being aware of this music. Isn't that strange?
Well, there's so much out there that you can.
Yeah, it's true, but still, maybe it's a matter of old age for me, because I'm just remembering too much. That's what it is.
Yeah, we're getting too old. Well, this band has been around for a while. It's Angine de Poitrine, and I don't know. I'm
I'm so
fascinated.
annoyed by that French name. I really
Well,
am.
it means
It's
oh, we just
annoying.
hold on. We got a caller inner that just jumped in here. Uh, George GPT. Hello. He just joined the chat, I think, or he joined the studio. Hi, George. George, unmute your mic if you want to talk. Let's see if you have a mic. Let me just check here. Yeah, maybe you do have a mic. If you want to unmute, you can, George. Otherwise, we're going to start the show. Let me start it properly.
Yes,
It's
hello.
Thursday. Oh, hi, George. George GPT. Are you Comentadoros again?
Yes.
Oh, you changed your name on us. Okay. It's Thursday, July 16th, 2026, Fakeologist Show. And Kate Emma says, I'm loud compared to Lynn. So, Lynn, you got to
I'll
dial it up.
talk. How about now?
Well, I'm probably too loud. I'll dial it down a dog biscuit. I'll go down 2 dog biscuits. So that's my I can do that. Yes. Okay. Did I give the date? I've already forgotten. Thursday, July 16th, 2026, Fakeologist Show. Lynn, how's the smoke down there in Baltimore?
They're raising the championship FIFA soccer
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
is to be played somewhere near the Meadowlands in New Jersey.
Okay.
And it's already being reported that skies are hazy as far south as Philadelphia.
I'm looking here. This is firesmoke.ca.
So the question is,
Can you see this?
yeah, isn't this a perfect moment for the FIFA organization to say, oh, we're having wildfires due to the climate crisis, and therefore we have to postpone this championship game because we don't want the players exposed to all this pollution.
Yeah. Climate change and all that.
Yeah, I'm throwing that out there. Let's see if if they actually go so far as to reschedule this game. That's when is it? It's for this weekend, or when is it for? I don't even know when it's.
Yeah, right around now.
Yeah, to be honest, I really haven't paid all that much. I mean, I, you can't walk in anywhere without seeing the soccer game on the screen. So I've seen some of it, but I don't know. I just can't get excited about soccer. I really can't. I'm not.
Well, as we talked about earlier, did we talk about in the last show? You brought it up that football, soccer was going to be the world sport,
Yeah,
and
we were
even in
quoting
America.
Doctor
Day.
Day.
George, you're going to have to mute while you're out in the wind, unless you want to say something.
It's the ventilator. Wait.
Yeah.
Does Lynn like football, soccer?
Does Lynn like football or soccer? I think she just said not really.
I'm not really into soccer that much.
Could you be?
you know, sports in general on television, I'll watch it every now and then. Football, basketball. Baseball's very slow. It's very slow.
Yeah, but that's the whole fun of it. There's a
You
lot of
know,
tension.
to tell you the truth, I'm into MMA, but
Yeah. Do you think MMA is fake?
Jake the Awake, I haven't watched his latest video, but Jake the Awake is saying that MMA matches are rigged, and I got to say, I've studied with some professional MMA fighters, kickboxing and grappling, and they're pretty serious athletes.
Yeah.
Now, one who I got to know very well, he didn't fight in the UFC. He fought in another professional MMA league called Shogun, which is just as good as the UFC. I mean, you know, there was World Extreme Cage Fighting for many years. The UFC is not the only organization that does MMA. There are other, MMA organizations. It's just the one that's the most commercially successful with Dana White and all.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, look at this smoke map. This is tomorrow. Wait, it says on the 18th, so in 2 days. This is, I guess, some kind of smoke tracking map.
How
Wow.
far south?
Well, I'm talking about for Sunday. Wait, Sunday. So Sunday at 4 p.m. Look at this super dark pile of smoke. It's going to be right over Toronto. See this dark area here? So that they're
going to
projecting.
tell you to stay inside, aren't they?
Well,
It'd be like a lockdown kind. It'd be like a wildfire lockdown, a smog lockdown. That's what.
But how perfect?
They are sending mobile phone alerts here.
Wait, you got smoke over there?
In Europe, I don't think so.
Generally, when something happens or it's bad weather condition.
Oh, okay. Let me bring up Greece. Greece is not on. This is a Smoke Canada app.
I gotta say though, as far as Europe is concerned,
we have fires here too.
Okay.
I've been studying this volcano that went off in Iceland.
Yeah.
A couple years ahead of the French Revolution.
Okay.
That really destroyed crops and wrecked agriculture throughout much of Europe. Because it left a cloud of soot, whatever volcanoes leave in the air, the particulate matter.
Yeah, it's smoke particulate. It's parts per million.
But it actually led to a terrible crop failure in France that combined with other things that were going on, like the financial crisis,
what chronology?
It became the perfect storm that culminated in the French Revolution, the overthrow of the monarchy.
What year was that? According George wants to know what year that was.
Well, the revolution itself started in 1789, but I think the volcanic eruption might have been in 1787. But look for Iceland, and it was an Icelandic.
Mm-hmm.
So look, Iceland isn't all that close to Europe, but you can see how the winds would have blown it all. And we also. There's a very famous volcano, not Krakatoa, but one nearby in Indonesia, that caused, in the mid-19th century, what we call the year without a summer. That the skies were so overcast and hazy that the sun couldn't get through, and so crops again failed. Why do what does this signify to me? One major volcanic eruption, and I remember St. Helens up in the northwest, that the effects of it were felt for years afterwards in terms of it clouding up the sky. But one major volcanic eruption makes man-made climate change look like a joke, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can measure it, too.
Yeah, just to get some perspective on that, volcanoes have a tremendous impact on weather, on the environment, and of course, the weather patterns in pre-revolutionary France were just completely messed up. The planting, the harvest, all that, and it really did contribute significantly to there was starvation and food shortages, and that certainly helped lead to the revolution. Another instance I'm thinking of, and I was watching this very closely, was in Nicaragua in 78, 79, which was ruled by a United States-supported dictator named Anastasio Somoza. This guy was so egotistical. He imported old statues of Mussolini from Italy and then put his head on these statues right there in the capital in Managua. And of course, there was general dissatisfaction. He and his family had been in control of the country for like a generation. But there was not any kind, the protest was not really catching on much. And then there was a terrible, terrible earthquake. I mean, a real earthquake that created such destruction in the city of Managua. And as a consequence, the government was called upon to distribute aid to all the people left homeless. And they screwed up really badly. There was scandal, there was corruption, very much attached to the earthquake relief effort that went on in Nicaragua. And this so discredited the administration of Anastasio Somoza that almost overnight the Sandinistas, who were organizing an insurrection against Somoza, gained thousands and thousands of middle-class followers, and followers from every class of society.
Is
and of
this
course,
in
they ultimately
December
overthrew
23rd?
Somoza.
December 23rd, 1972?
The earthquake in Nicaragua?
Yeah, Managua. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. If you page down, what does it say about the relief efforts? Scandal associated with the relief efforts that discredited the government. They probably won't even mention that in terms of impact.
The disaster led to international aid, major rebuilding efforts. Much of the old center was razed, and long-term changes in seismic awareness and construction standards in the region. It remains one of the deadliest earthquakes in the Western Hemisphere in modern times.
If you do a search on earthquake Managua Sandinista, you'll see it contributed significantly to the growth of their movement. And there may not have been a revolution to overthrow Somoza had not this earthquake occurred. Had not
Samosa, isn't that a food, Mediterranean food?
What's that?
A samosa. A samosa.
Samosa. Yeah,
Anastasio.
Somoza. Yeah, with a Z. It's spelled differently.
Yeah, they put a Z in it. Okay. Somoza was not formally president at the exact moment of the quake. A triumvirate junta was in place, but as head of the National Guard, he quickly assumed control. He declared martial law.
That's all they'll say about it, huh?
The earthquake's aftermath is infamous for widespread accusations of corruption by Somoza, his family, and the National Guard.
Right.
He diverted aid, cash supplies, food, medicine, allegedly stockpiled, misused, or siphoned off, sold blood plasma.
What a nice guy. I sold blood plasma. What a good Christian man.
He bought cheap land. Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. You buy up everything. That's what the COVID was. You bankrupt all these people, then buy up their businesses cheap.
The National Guard was accused of looting while enforcing order. Somoza admitted some abuses, but defended the overall response.
Right.
Orders were given to shoot looters. Somoza framed the disaster as a revolution of opportunities for modernization and economic shifts. Well, I guess that's part of our thesis about earthquakes, what they're really about. So he is stating what we fakeologists tend to say. These are controlled demolitions in some way.
But this particular earthquake was a natural disaster.
Okay, well.
Volcanoes are not, I don't think volcanoes are engineered either.
Okay.
Volcanic eruptions,
All right. What did you want to talk about tonight? You got something on your screen?
Well, I can open up with the latest on
sorry.
On
the Trump shooting hoax?
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Butler, yeah.
Yeah, because let me find it. Okay, because the widow is talking now, Now,
Oh.
we remember, just to remind you.
You got any video on that?
Yes, I do. You want to watch that first? Here's the.
Yeah, what's she talking about? We always introduce the clip, we play the clip. Let's be a clip show like no
Remember
agenda.
this? The
Can you hear this?
Yeah.
widow of the man who got shot and killed that day thinks that it was an inside job from the government.
And not let him go, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Crooks himself remains shrouded in mystery. Authorities still haven't publicly identified a motive for his attempted assassination of President Trump.
You've expressed belief that the gunman, Thomas Crooks, didn't act alone.
I don't believe there was another shooter there, but I believe that he was working with somebody. I believe it was an inside job inside the government somewhere.
That's pretty wild that they don't have a motive for this guy and how quickly they moved on. I think everybody at bare minimum thought that it was Secret Service incompetence that day, but didn't seem like much was said or done about it. Now, a lot of people think that the entire event was staged, not her, and because her husband died, she doesn't like those theories at all.
None of this was fake. I'm tired of hearing that.
I'm tired of you.
It was not fake that day. President Trump got shot. Unfortunately, he got killed. And I don't want anybody to forget that. And I was looking right in his eyes when it happened. So I don't want people to forget that. And that we struggle every day. Still.
Who's we?
Because we don't have answers.
But I thought the clip was interesting. Let me know what you think. I'm not surprised she thinks it was an inside job. Most Americans don't trust their government or media anymore for valid reasons, and unfortunately it seems like the general public's curiosity to solve certain mysteries is a lot higher than the people involved or that normally would solve these mysteries. So that's what's gonna happen. Follow me if you like these videos, leave a comment, and have a good day. God bless you.
God bless you. That's you like that guy, Anomaly.
Yeah, because he represents a certain segment of the population that's still clinging to the old paradigm.
Yeah.
Even though they know we never walked on the moon. He doesn't think we walked on the moon.
Yeah, but does he believe Lee Harvey Oswald is the
he wasn't
shot?
even why would he even care about that?
Well, because history rhymes, and he's got to look into.
He's too young to care about JFK. Come on.
Do you see the layers of layers? So we've got layers of fakery here.
Well, let's look at one of these layers of fakery, because
we got layers of fakery. So he is enforcing the idea that the shooting was fake, and she is telling us we shouldn't say it's fake.
Right.
And
now here's the thing. You know, I have gone into this woman here.
Yeah.
This crisis actor. And by the way, I've always maintained not only are we free and privileged, but we are duty-bound and obligated to criticize the script, the props, the scenery, and most important, the performance of the crisis actors involved. And this woman is a lying crisis actor. I'm calling her out as that.
Yes.
Because I've looked at this closely enough to know that she's got to be lying. I got to pick. Here you go. That's Helen Comparatore. Can you see that?
Yeah. She looks like she eats well.
Yeah, and this is within really within a day or two of the event up there. Trump came back and had a rally. So the fact that she would allow this terrible tragedy to be used for political reasons. But I want to show you the detail that, and there's more of the family there. See? Now, they made a really big, Trump came back to have a commemorative event, basically a political campaign event. That's what I find so sleazy and low class about this. Look, if your husband was shot, if he was a casualty of an assassination attempt at a rally, you know, your response to that is to jump on board, to allow his death to be used as a prop in a political campaign? The whole thing of her demeanor and everything else, to me,
it's unnatural. It's unnatural.
Unnatural. But I'm going to show you what's super, super, super unnatural, and it's a dead giveaway.
Fake as F33NDB says.
Here's Trump displaying the official fireman's jacket of this fireman that was allegedly attending the rally who got killed by Thomas Crooks, the alleged assassin.
By the way, Thomas Crooks looks like the bowl cut guy from...
Yeah, they've got pictures of him out there. You can,
Is that supposed to be the geekiest, most
well, let me ask you
awkward
this.
person they could make up? Mm-hmm.
If you were a fireman, volunteer fireman, or even just an employee fireman.
Yeah, would you stand for your name being misspelled?
Right, exactly. They misspelled the name. It's ridiculous. Because they were in a hurry preparing the prop. Can you just see somebody said, hey, we need a fireman's jacket? Well, what name do we put? A comparatore. Comparatore. So they, a Compertore, they left the A out. Would you wear a jacket with your name misspelled? How about at your own funeral?
Yeah, you might want to fix that.
They shouldn't have even used this jacket. But that in itself shows the progressive cheapening and trashification of the details in these scripts. They don't care anymore. So, there's a whole discussion of this.
Well, they could turn it into a conspiracy if it was really a mistake.
Well, that's the thing. Look at this write-up right here. The fact check. Let me find. Here we go.
Fact check.
Fact check. Okay.
Accept your cookies. Oh, continue without. Yeah.
Yeah. Screw that. There's the name misspelled. They left out the letter A.
Yeah, after the R. Yeah.
Right. Misleading posts claim RNC misspelled slain fire chief's name on jacket. Is that really what needs to be fact checked here? No, well, the RNC, I guess, couldn't have misspelled it because they didn't prepare the jacket. The fire department did, right?
Right.
During his speech accepting the Republican Party nomination for president. Oh, that's where this was used, this jacket. Donald Trump honored Corey Comparatore, a firefighter killed as a man opened fire on the former president's July 13th, 2024. Wow, it's a year old already. Time flies. Critics of the Republican Party claimed officials misspelled the man's name as Comparatore on a jacket displayed on stage. But the error was not introduced by convention planners. The Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company said the uniform had carried an inaccurate spelling of his name for years.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a post on X. That Magat. Why do they call him Magat?
Well, because they're trying to associate it with the word maggot.
Oh, maggot. Got it.
They're trying to be pejorative. That's the pejorative of mega.
Hold time 26.
Okay,
seconds.
we got a caller in. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Hey, Fakeologist. Hey, Lynn. It's Jay from Texas.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay. How's it going?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, it's going good. Hope y'all guys having a good evening.
We are.
Hey,
we're
remember-
trying to stay out of the smoke. You got smoke down there in Baltimore, don't you? Or
Not yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
you're
It's
right on
just
the
started
edge.
to appear in Philadelphia.
Okay, so you're right.
What is
on,
this from?
From
There's a fire.
wildfires in Ontario?
Yeah, northwest Ontario, which is twice the size of Texas.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's because we have a northwest wind blowing, so it blows it all down here.
Don't you think somebody would have caught this misspelling and said, hey, let's not use the jacket? And Trump probably said, no one will care.
Well, he's right
What's
about
the
that.
narrative? What's the narrative on how the fire starts? It's just
Wait,
random. That's
Wait,
how they
hold
think?
on. Let's not change the subject right now.
Well, I don't know how much more you can say about this stupid stunt they pulled at Butler, which basically, where the debate was, since Trump is a member of the WWE Hall of Fame, he probably knows how to use a blade to get blood
I don't
going.
even think it was a blade.
But I think it was a squib. It was probably just a Hollywood
I'm going
squib.
with squib. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was something like that because, I mean, he is part of the whole fake thing with with his with the guy Ari. He's been a Hollywood producer. Number one, people never put together is like Ari is been if not still is one of the main guys who recruited for Hollywood, especially for those reality TV shows and stuff like that. And he owns the UFC, which
in response,
yeah.
In response to questions, and look at how they react to this. In response to questions around the differences in the name spelling, the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company commented on the post that Comparatore had been aware of the misspelling but opted not to correct it. The spelling on his jacket was in error years ago, and it was left that way by Corey, one comment says. Corey did not change it, and we will keep it as it was. I understand it may seem confusing, but that was Corey's choice to change it, and he didn't. Does that sound
extremely
plausible
confusing.
to you?
No, it doesn't sound plausible because people want to have their names remembered. And why would you spell your name differently?
He's disrespecting his own family.
Yeah. It's there's no logic there.
Well, this has created a huge.
And the widow should have spoken up and said, "Get rid of that jacket."
Yeah.
Or create another one with a correct spelling on it.
This is a bit of a rabbit trail that really
it just goes on and on and on.
But what it does is it keeps us keeps us from discussing the idea the whole thing was fake and staged, and not in the way that it's a right versus left, Democrat versus Republican way. It was faked by the same industrial complex, and shame on Anomaly for not calling this out. How long do you have to be a researcher to start calling this stuff out?
That's my frustration with him as well, because I'm in there during this.
That's why I don't listen to people like that, because he's just furthering the lie. That's all he's doing. Shame on these people.
To people like him, it may not matter. If you think about it.
Right, Lynn?
What's that?
It's emotional. It's emotional when you try to say, oh, well, look, somebody didn't die, and they'd be like, how could you? And then they try to bring it back to some like.
But that's not what he would say. I can tell you exactly what Anomaly would say. He would say, "Oh, I don't know. You might be right. Maybe nobody died. Maybe somebody did." In other words,
it goes back to emotion because he doesn't want to involve himself.
Right. It doesn't make that much of a difference to him. If you think it was staged, well, Brian of High Impact Flicks. Here's what he says.
Yeah, what's he say?
Well, he's always saying about these things, yeah, it's possible nobody died. A lot of these things are just faking it. He said, but believe me, they wouldn't hesitate to kill somebody for special effect. So he has a different attitude toward it. His thing is, it wouldn't be that big a deal for them to really kill somebody. But
so he's helping promote it too. Ellen has just joined the chat. Hello. Hi, Ellen.
We can't prove. We can't prove that nobody died at Butler.
They can't prove someone did.
Exactly. And not only that, we're pointing to evidence that shows the thing was staged. So the question then becomes, and this is the same thing with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
If you've got something that clearly is scripted and staged, you don't know what happened, but it's pretty clear it's scripted and staged. It's got mistakes in the performance and bad props. The most immediate likelihood is that nobody died.
And by the way, Cameron says misspelling the name means the real guy didn't die. There's that's a good point, I think.
But how many of the people participating,
if there is a real guy,
right, exactly. But think about this.
Yeah.
You've got the whole fire department, the whole volunteer fire department. What a dirty, corrupt bunch they must be. These are the firemen who went along with the official narrative of 9/11 that those buildings collapsed.
Yeah, but these are volunteer firemen. These guys don't even get paid, so I don't shame them. Hey, Lynn, say hi to Ellen. She's calling from Sweden.
Lynn. Hi, how are you?
Calling from where?
Sweden. From Sweden. Hi.
Sweden. Sweden. Vikings. Yay.
Yeah, of course.
Swedish chefs, of course. Yeah.
Have you been to Sweden, Lynn? Have you been here?
No, I regret to say I haven't. But
there's still time, Lynn. There's still time.
But I'm a huge fan of Ingmar Bergman's films.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
that.
I've studied a course at university once about his films actually. So yeah, I'm
Oh
a fan
yeah,
as well.
Swedish
Yeah, I
film.
love them.
Yeah,
Which one's your favorite?
The
I'm not
Seventh
gonna get a.
Seal. The Seventh Seal with Max,
It is.
very young Max von Sydow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mine is Finding Alexander.
Oh, that's great too. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
love
good.
it.
Very good.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
fake college.
Hi,
I'm sorry, Lynn. Hi, Ellen. It's
hi,
Jay.
Jay.
I don't know if I could ask you a question, because going back to this narrative stuff, I don't know if you heard, because you know how we talked about the Russian narrative and how you don't believe but it's constantly being blared out over there. Did you also hear about in the UK they're pushing in a law called supporting terrorism, not only like with stuff, but information wise. Like if you go against their narrative, it's
So that's
yeah,
anti-terrorism.
Well, they call
yeah.
that.
I don't know if you
They
heard
have a
about
term
that.
for that. They call that stochastic terrorism.
Oh, that sounds complicated.
They're trying
Stochastic.
to rush it through, rush it in the
Is
UK.
that's related to stoicism, right? I looked that
No,
up once.
no.
No?
Stochastic means that what you're doing is you're actually encouraging real terrorism by propagating media narratives that aren't.
Yeah,
in
like
other
if
words,
you got a narrative from somebody.
Let me
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something on this.
Okay, go ahead, George.
In the EU, they just passed a law that they can access all the messages, Telegram and all this, without the attorney, without an order from the attorney.
Okay.
Now, currently in Greece, they are prosecuting some people for a murder that happened 15 years ago, and they supposedly they recognize them with the help of AI.
Mm-hmm.
So we are heading towards prosecutions of the kind of Minority Report. That is, the AI guesses that you could be the murderer, maybe even in the future.
Oh boy.
It's predictive. It's
Yes,
predictive.
it's becoming very dark gradually.
And that's why simulation is so critical to this, because if they can, what they want to do is create a simulation for you, for every one of us, that is so close to our predicted behavior that it becomes pre-crime. That is to say, they can predict that based on the algorithm that they're going to program.
Yes.
That's the stochastic.
Stochastic terrorism. They can predict who's most likely to be a terrorist. Now remember, anybody who was going around challenging the vaccine during COVID was called a terrorist. Anybody who was refusing to wear a mask or denouncing the mask mandates was called a terrorist. And anyone who was denying the reality of the COVID scamdemic was called, that word terrorist was used.
Yeah.
Because after all, you're endangering people.
Hey, Lynn, let me bring up something from Grok here. Here's a historical parallel cited retroactively, such as King Henry II's, "Will no one rid me of this turbulent priest?" before Thomas Becket's murder in 1170. So
that's about Thomas of Becket's murder. Yeah. He was the Archbishop of Canterbury.
So King Henry II was engaging in stochastic terrorism.
Yeah, right.
Because he was
saying it.
He wasn't inciting it directly, but he was saying, "Hey, sure would be good if this guy met an untimely demise, wouldn't it?"
Hey, yeah. Lynn, have you heard what Trump was saying about the information out of Iran in the media, when the media reports that, well, Iran is still supposedly hitting the bases, and then Trump is like, well, I can't believe you're reporting all this. We're bombing them, we're winning, and you should be considered treason for reporting this. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh, what I want to hear under oath is generals, members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, or whatever generals are in charge of this running this operation. I want to hear an answer, a direct answer to the direct question: are you notifying Iranian officials in advance of where these missile strikes or drone strikes are going to take place? Have you, or a direct question, have you ever informed the authorities in Iran of the precise location where you intend to target a base or a facility so that you can evacuate all your personnel ahead of schedule? Then we'd really get members of the generals to perjure themselves, see, because they know. If indeed a fake war is being conducted, then that means you have to notify your partner in this WWE kayfabe on the world stage. Hey, we're going to hit this location at this particular time on this particular day next week, so make sure you don't have anybody around there. That's the only way I could see that they could make this convincing enough to be a real war, to make people think it was a real war. There has to be some real destruction going on. Now, right now, they're recapitulating the very first casualty report that came out about the school that was unintentionally hit by a U.S. missile. Allegedly, over 100 people were killed, schoolgirls, civilians. And right now in the U.S. Congress, apparently there's a disconnect, because Trump is saying, either it didn't really... Trump is saying that, no, this wasn't our fault. They probably did it. One of their own missiles probably did. Trump keeps making up...
That's the emotional narrative, right? That's the emotional narrative they're trying to push, instead of... Because with this information terrorist, that thing that they're pushing in the UK, and with what Ellen said about Sweden and how they're always pushing like Russia's going to attack us.
Yeah,
whole narrative that this whole narrative that somebody's going to come for you, and we need to set up this thing to protect you, because that's what the voter ID was RFID chips and everything like that. And I don't know if you remember during Obama's time, Lynn, when he was trying to label like precious metals as anybody who owns these is not only crazy but is supporting terrorism, because they tried to say that ISIS came out with their own coin when they had their little country. Even so, like, you could see this attack on because if people think about why are the prices so high, and they'll be like, oh, there's a fake war going on. And if you say it's fake and say that there's really nothing going on, like you're saying, then it breaks their emotional narrative that they're trying to get you on, instead of you looking at it logically. And then what's another emotional way they could charge you, right? Charge you with money, charge you with your time, and stuff like that.
But people are going to ask the logical, rational questions about these things, if they're thinking at all.
Just like during COVID.
Where's the evidence? Who's making this claim? Let's see the proof that there were really casualties involved here. People should be asking those questions, but they're not.
No, they don't.
Because
no,
it's so shallow. The whole thing is so shallow. It's an on-again, off-again war. It's a phony war. This isn't the first time. For months and months in 1940, the Germans versus the French and the British were engaged in what was referred to at the time as a Sitzkrieg. Sitzkrieg is a pun on the word blitzkrieg. The Germans were already famous for their blitzkrieg's lightning war. Their lightning war against Poland, which they won in weeks, and then they swept across France later. But before they did, there was a stalemate that lasted for months and months, where nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, the Germans broke out, and within a few weeks they had taken over France. But this period that went on for months and months was referred to as the phony war, or the Sitzkrieg. And that's the kind of situation we're talking about. We know that they're capable of managing phony wars. I wanted to point out something about shock pricing since we're talking about.
By the way, let me
wars,
say a
I don't
comment
want
from
to step on
Cameron, Lynn.
anybody else's.
Cameron said anyone speaking out against flock surveillance is a terrorist, according to the CEO.
Oh yeah.
Is that an actual? Did the guy actually say that?
Alex Karp. I guess.
So he actually said that.
I think he did. Yeah, at Palantir. I'm pretty sure he works at Palantir.
Well, Flock is a different company. Ellen, what do you think?
I've seen interviews with this guy, Alex.
Let's let Ellen say something. Ellen, what do you got?
About Palantir or about the
Well,
Butler
no,
thing?
you called in, so we haven't given you a fair airing yet. If you had something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I was calling in just to say about the Butler thing, that I believe that the whole jacket thing, it's completely scripted. It's just to bring up, the whole, like I said, the rabbit trail, the conspiracy things. They just want to make like, oh, either you buy into like the CNN version, the mainstream version, or you're gonna buy into, yeah, it was an inside job, it was this and that, whatever. I mean, we've seen this a million times before with the JFK assassination. We had our own thing here in Sweden in 1986, and I mean, everybody believes that the prime minister was assassinated. I mean, almost everybody, but nobody knows who did it. So they just want to like enforce the narrative that it was a real shooting and somebody was killed. And I called in just to like highlight how, scripted into like the slightest detail these things like really are, because inside of the letters of the words Butler, Pennsylvania, it's not a complete anagram, but you have the letters to write out Elvis Presley. And 2 days before that event, there was an article about the actor Austin Butler, who, of course, played Elvis in the biopic by Baz Luhrmann. And he was at the premiere of a theater called Oh Mary about Abraham Lincoln's wife, her life, like the weeks before leading up to his assassination, alleged assassination, I should say, yeah. And then you have this picture, which is insane. And I was going to ask you if you have seen it, where Trump is literally channeling Elvis. I mean, once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it. Have you seen it?
No. Where is that?
I saw it on X, and then I just couldn't like stop, seeing that thing. And then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, Elvis Presley is literally inside the letters. You can take the letters inside of Butler, Pennsylvania, and type out Elvis Presley. I'm gonna send it to you on X so you can pull it up if you want. I'm gonna send you a link here. You're on X.
So you're saying that Butler, Pennsylvania you could scramble the letters and get the anagram?
Yeah. Not a complete anagram. You're gonna get some letters
okay,
that are still over there. Yeah, you can write out Elvis Presley out from Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm not even kidding. You're trying to say, I mean, I just saw that after I saw the picture. And then I was starting to Googling up because I was like, Austin Butler. Oh my gosh, you have the Butler in there as well.
Yeah.
I'm sending it to you now.
Of Olof Palme,
Yeah.
former Swedish prime minister, was your JFK event in Sweden.
Yeah. JFK happened like 20 years before, but he just walked outside without any lifeguards. And of course, you had military drills on that very street the same night. No, he wasn't assassinated. You can look at the pool of blood that was still there, for people to lay roses on the day after. It's completely orange. It's like paint. It's stupid,
So how many Swedes do you think are aware that the Olof Palme assassination was faked?
In that generation, like my parents' generation, very few, like almost no one.
Nobody
There
would.
is no one literally, and there is like some little conspiracy about he faked his death, like an enclosed event, like he did it, not like the system did it. He did it because
Yeah.
he had AIDS. He had AIDS,
Because
and
he
he
had
didn't want
AIDS. Yeah.
anybody to find out. Yeah,
That's a pretty
that's
good
like
reason.
yeah, that's like the Charlie Kirk faked his death because the Israelis was gonna get him and kill him, so he's in
Yeah.
witness protection. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's totally fake, and people cannot see that because there's so much conspiracy fodder and everything.
Yeah. Well, they're given the alternative view, and that's what they stick to.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly read about the flock camera. There's an organization called DFlock, which is funny, and Flock's safety CEO Garrett Langley, Virginia, previously labeled DFlock an activist group that maps the locations of publicly visible Flock ALPR automatic license plate reader cameras as a terroristic organization. This controversial characterization sparked significant public backlash and drew further scrutiny to the company's privacy practices, data sharing with federal agencies, and massive nationwide surveillance network. And I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that the Arkansas State Police, which are some of the most famous cops with the body cams and the dash cams that are pulling over drug runners, I'm almost positive that they are using the Flock network to just target any car that crosses the state line. Not just rental cars, but out-of-state cars, etc.
Well, it's a source of revenue, right?
Well, it's all kinds of
It's
things.
a big source of revenue.
I don't know what. Well, they take the drugs. If you're talking about that, they take the cash. Some of the
I'm just
cash.
talking about traffic
the,
citations. Fine.
No. These guys aren't. Well, no. I'm saying they're using it for drug interdiction, and they use the skinniest, thinnest excuse to pull over a car. Pretext to pull over a car. I watched a couple of them, and they said, "You touched the fog line." And I just want to make sure you're not falling asleep or you're not on drugs. And that's what gets the camel's nose into the tent. And once you're pulled over, it's all over. Because
they've got drug sniffing dogs.
No. I think it all starts from the Flock cameras, because I think they are using them just to literally. They say they have to type in the license plate number and then get it. But I think the Flock cameras must have some kind of they have their own private database that's created on the fly from the cameras. It's instant. So I think they probably get alerts of some sort saying this car just crossed the state line, and here's the story. It came over this state line, because it's definitely anti-Fourth Amendment.
See, well, it's from the border all the way up. That's how they get it.
It's on all the borders. Revenue. No, it's on state borders, not just the border, international border. It's probably on county borders too. They're all over the place. So it's really
that's how they're able to easily.
But don't forget, police cars, at least in most cities, have the same ALPR cameras on top of their cars. So they're looking in all 4 or 8 directions. So if they ping a plate that's got anything wrong with it, or the driver, the owner of the vehicle, or the registered owner of that plate, if there's any problem, they will pull you over based on the camera. So all it's doing is just multiplying by an exponential factor the effectiveness of that 1 or 2 police officers in the car. Anyway, so that was the Flock thingy, and the other thing
by the way, if anyone who vandalizes or damages surveillance equipment such as Flock cameras is of course a terrorist.
Well, no doubt, I guess. What is that? But is that an actual?
That's been said. That's been quoted. Well, I'm not the one originating.
But that's what that guy said. That's what the CEO said. But there's no law specific to the flock cameras
Well,
or
no,
any
not
cameras.
but there probably will be very soon.
Yeah.
There is a new law in the USA for warrantless surveillance. Are you aware of this?
There's a law where in the USA?
Warrantless surveillance. It's national. It's federal.
Mm-hmm. So what is it? It's allowing it?
Well,
Yes,
FISA,
new
the
law.
Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, allowed warrantless surveillance as long as you could link it to a foreign power or non-state combatants like Al Qaeda. So, if they can establish any kind of connection to either a foreign power or a non-state terrorist organization, then they can go ahead and it's a carte blanche to just surveil you, every aspect of your life, completely without any real probable cause. And then, of course, there are red flag laws. We could talk about red flag laws, which Trump has been a major advocate for.
Yeah.
All that came out after 9/11 when they started putting people on terrorist watch lists to stop them from traveling. That was their first censorship of like people of intellectuals getting out and talking about 9/11. Because if you're like, I don't know about this, let's have a conference somewhere else. Because if we have a conference here in the U.S., we're probably going to get harassed. So you try to have a conference somewhere else, but then you have a conference somewhere else. They bring in their agents to try to make it something that it's not. And you see that now with these, with the narratives that we talk about, the anti-news narratives that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to label that as some sort of sedition when it's not like there's no leader or group. People are coming to these thoughts individually, and not everybody is thinking the same. But just because they're not on the same track as the news narrative, they're looked at as that. And that's the biggest thing, is because it could be a broad terrorism is really not a thing or a person, it's an action.
Yeah, they're calling it like terrorist risk, like people at risk of being terrorists. Yeah, they do the same here as well.
Pre-crime.
Yeah.
Well,
And they call it Nazi views. Even if you're not even speaking about some, you're saying terrorists attack are fake. It's like, yeah, you're Nazi. It's crazy.
People should watch the movie Minority Report. I guess based.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, on a Philip K. Dick novel, I think, or short story, to get an idea of what we're talking about here.
I'm gonna watch
it. It has some of Prophet's of fiction narratives in there too.
Minority Report. Let me look it up. I've heard of it. Isn't that a TV show as well?
Tom Cruise.
2002 film.
It's a good. That's when they wanted to bring all that stuff. That's when the anthrax attacks happens and everything.
Well, we'll watch a clip of that. This is 2002, so here we go. Official trailer number 1. DreamWorks. Remember DreamWorks?
Okay, Jad, what's coming? Double homicide, 1 male, 1 female. Killer's male, white, 40s. Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route.
I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
Give the man his hat.
The future can be seen.
All we have to run on are the images that they produce.
We see what they see.
There hasn't been a murder in 6 years. There's nothing wrong with the system. It is
Perfect, I agree.
Murder can be stopped.
Tell me exactly what it is you're looking for.
Flaws. You ever get any false positives?
We are arresting individuals who have broken no law.
But they will.
The fact that you prevented it from happening doesn't change the fact that it was going to happen.
The system can't be wrong.
You say something, Chief?
No. You're in a lot of trouble, John. I have a warrant in my pocket that says murder.
No.
Don't run.
Okay, I get it.
You don't have to chase me.
From 20th Century Fox.
He set me up. He set me up.
And DreamWorks Pictures.
Who's the victim? I've never heard of him, but I'm supposed to kill him in less than 36 hours.
He's coming here to get her.
Tom Cruise.
I need your help. If you contain information, I need to know how to get at it.
In a Steven Spielberg film.
I have to know. I have to find out what happened in my life. You tell me, who was it that set this up?
I don't know.
How about now?
On June 21st, everybody runs.
I love you.
No, Todd!
Wow, it's got all the big ones
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, they talk
Hold
a lot
time,
about the
30
impact of the human
seconds.
surveillance in the flock surveillance.
Nice. Hold
Like-
on. I got another caller in, Jay. Caller in, where are you calling from? What's your name?
Hi, this is David from Kansas. I called in a couple weeks ago.
Hi, David from Kansas. What's going on?
Oh, just enjoying you guys' show and what you guys talking about here in the Minority Report and,
Yeah, it's a
and
pretty
what's
good.
going on currently.
It's a pretty good show tonight, I would say.
Are you guilty of
Yeah,
pre-crime? David,
Yeah.
are you guilty of pre-crime? Do you have deep, dark intentions to hurt somebody?
Ooh.
Pre-crime.
Not today. You know what's interesting is, what do you guys think of the data centers and the flock cameras and how they go together?
Oh, yeah, obviously, to run a huge, complex, global system of surveillance, that's what these data centers are for.
Well,
Battle management system.
Well, that's just speculation, because I'm trying to put. I'm categorizing these data centers with 5G. I think it's just hysteria, myself personally.
Well, no. You just explained it when you were talking about the cops, fakeologist. It's like a battle management system.
Well,
Two cops
I
could
know.
now see everything.
Well, I know. I don't have proof that they're using them that way. I don't have proof. I'm just speculating, because what I'm seeing is flimsy reasons to pull over cars. That's all I'm seeing. I don't
understand.
I don't have evidence that the flock cameras are using the data centers. Well, they're just, I don't have any evidence. I'm just saying that it seems like the data centers are turning into the new 5G. Does anyone remember 5G that was frying your brain, and you add a little COVID sauce to it and it'll kill you? Now
that was the emotional argument.
Now we
That
got
was
the we got the data centers, and people don't even know why they're against them. So I've been to these data centers. I go to these sites and help build them. So
there are plenty of reasons to be against them. Noise pollution being one.
There's no noise pollution.
That's there isn't. I've watched videos of people who live near these data centers. There's a constant industrial hum, a loud machine noise.
Yeah, but Lynn, that's an emotional argument. That's an emotional.
Well, I
argument.
don't know. I've never heard it, Lynn. I don't know. I think we're. I'm wondering who's ginning up all the opposition to them. Because it
people
seems
who don't want this crap in their backyard.
Yeah,
that's who.
but I was wondering, is the algorithm like pushing this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It is, yeah. Then it's probably fake,
There is still a possibility that it is an investment hype, like AI.
Everything is an investment.
Well, I kind of go with the no agenda show. Adam had a good theory. He said, listen, Americans need power infrastructure upgrades all over the place, but nobody wants to pay for it. So this is sort of a way to get investment firms, investment funds to fund these big AI companies like Microsoft and Google and Meta and all these, and Open Anthropic. And it's a way to get power to these areas,
right? But the problem is this:
but they need the infrastructure. I don't even think these data centers need all that much power.
They do. They're putting the cart before the horse.
No, but I think that could be sort of a that could be sort of a sort of a lingering bit of infrastructure.
The question is whether these data centers will generate their own power source.
No, they're gonna need. They're gonna need more power.
That means that they're gonna suck the power away from residential neighborhoods.
No, they're not. They're gonna end up building more power. And
here in Maryland,
here where I went to one data center.
40% of our electricity comes from outside the state. It has to be imported from Pennsylvania or Virginia. We shouldn't be building a single data center in the state of Maryland until we resolve the energy crisis that exists.
Well, this is going to resolve it. That's my whole point. Because these data centers, because one thing about computers is they get more efficient over time. So I've even heard that these data centers are going to be half empty, because by the time they finish them, the chips are smaller, faster, and they don't need as much power because that's how quickly these integrated circuits are shrinking. So when they get smaller, they need less power. So it's just sort of behind.
Why do people need infrastructure? Remember before the data centers and all these stuff was the towers, the cell phone towers.
That's what I'm saying.
And now it's data centers. So, but why do we need data centers for infrastructure when we already have the internet? Like, there's
no. What I'm saying is it's sort of they're sort of bringing it around to help build power, sort of in a roundabout way. Hey, we got Cam in the house. Cam, welcome to the show.
Is my mic working?
Your mic is working. Where are you calling from?
From the the East Shore of Puget Sound.
Oh, right, Cam. Right now I recognize you. Hi. Yeah. By the way, everyone who's in the studio, all they did was type shortfake.com/restream and made sure their microphones were given permission, and they're in the studio. So, wow, full house tonight, Cam.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in about the data centers. I think it's a prelude for digital currency.
Okay.
And so that they can keep track of all the transactions going on across the country when they get rid of the dollar. And what do you think of that?
Not bad, but don't forget the Bitcoin blockchain is available and copied to anyone who wants a copy of it. So I don't think you need a data center for that, because you can have the whole Bitcoin blockchain on your own computer. There's enough room.
In my opinion, I think the Bitcoin is also a prelude to digital. It's to get people, familiar with Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden it's the same as a digital currency. And then with the flock cameras tracking everything you do, going back and forth. Not to mention, there's a new thing, software that can be added to those flock cameras. And they can be access everything, every kind of digital device in your car as you go by. That way they can track everything from buds to watches to any kind of a Bluetooth device. So they can log that into the data center. So I think this is all a prelude building up to Agenda 2030, which is a cashless society.
We already are in a cashless society. Most countries are cashless.
Yeah, but we still have the option of a dollar bill to be somewhat anonymous in our transactions. Once it's all digital, you have no autonomy at all. You're just you can't even pay your neighbor kid to come mow your lawn. It's all going to be digitally, you know.
Hey, Cam, do you know anyone under 40?
Yeah, quite a few. Yeah.
Do they carry cash?
A couple do,
yeah,
but most of them use their damn phone.
I rest my case. That's what I'm trying to say.
There you go.
I'm trying to
elaborate on this. Let me elaborate.
There should be a movement. There should be a movement against that. I mean, I see people in front of me in line making a $2.39 purchase and using their damn phone. Why don't you just go to the bank and take out $300 every month and just pay those small things with cash?
Who goes to a bank? Okay, George from Greece wants to say something. George.
Yes, what he wants to say is that there is going to be a global profile for every citizen that is correlated with the monetary system, with the digital currency.
Yeah.
So you will be able to eat the cockroach only if you are believing the right things, the correct things.
You eat the cockroaches. Yeah, I heard they put, if you look closely at the labels, they're putting chitin, CHITIN, the protein that they harvest from crickets.
Yes. Now it's illegal in Europe.
Oh, it's illegal. Figures. You guys are always on the cutting edge of that. Why is that? Why do we have to eat the crickets?
Probably.
John the Baptist survived off locusts and wild honey.
Okay, I'll eat the honey, but you can keep your locusts.
Locusts, I imagine if you toast them over a fire, they can be pretty tasty. I don't.
Well, if
It's
you dip
also
it,
been proven that those insects are not good for you.
they're
They have,
toxic. They're toxic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just another way to kill you. You got the 5G, electro radiation, the poisoning of the water, the poisoning of the food. It's just
I'm not going with 5G, and my water is not poisoned, so you can strike those off the list. I don't think I'm being poisoned. Yes.
What do you think of the data centers being produced in the future for robots and controlling robots?
Yeah.
Like Terminator 2.
Yeah, I think
You know, Terminator 2 is the only movie that the royals from England came down special to give Arnold Schwarzenegger an award because it was so realistic. You know, it was the only movie that
What royals?
that the royals came down.
King
The
Elizabeth?
Terminator-
Queen Elizabeth?
I think what was his name? King, not King, but Prince
Charles?
something.
Prince
Yeah.
Big Ears? Yeah.
Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Prince Charles and what's her name? Diana.
Diana, yeah, she was a real looker, wasn't she? Yeah.
There is a movie.
Yeah,
She
there's
could have been a man.
yeah, you got that right. I'm glad you brought
He
that
was
up.
speaking out against
I was
the
just gonna
creepy
ask
royal
you if you
family.
think she's tranny.
Okay, hold on a
We'll
sec.
never know.
Yeah.
She's
well,
also world famous.
so hold on. Wick, is this you, Wick? Is Ellen? Are you Wick Hope? Wick Hope?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here it is. I just saw my notifications on X. If you want to ping me, I'm a fakeologist on X, and we do have a few people on X watching us. Well, we have 10, and I didn't even put a good show title. Okay, 10 people. Okay, so CJ Synchromorpheus, yeah, he's big on IPS templates. The blood sweat tripping. The towel looks like the jumpsuit collar flipped up. Look into the Trump Elvis connections I mentioned. Pretty crazy. Yeah, that's a great shot, by the way. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can see the Masonic M as well that he's doing with his hand, with the fingers in the middle tied together.
That is a great shot. So they worked hard
Yeah.
at this. That is
Yeah.
really good. What's this thing on the left here? I don't know what that is. Some kind of aberration. And then here's the king. So he's okay. What about the king? He's sweating. Is that it? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sweating
Yeah.
on the temple. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next alleged assassination attempt at the Hilton Hotel, he had this illusionist called Oz Perlman performing right when the alleged shots went off, and then you can see there was going out pictures of Donald Trump when he stands
You're referring
peeking
to the
behind the
White House
curtain.
Correspondents' Dinner. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he's like peeking behind the curtain, exactly like the Wizard from Oz, So I was just saying that they're mocking us. Like, these things are so scripted. So if a name on a jacket is wrong, I mean, these people are a lot of things, but they're not stupid.
Yeah, that's
so
not a
that's
mistake.
by by
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
I'm
So
with
you
you
have
on that.
like these little side themes. You have a side theme of the Elvis thing, woven inside of the Butler, Pennsylvania, and then you have this Wizard of Oz side theme woven in at the White House Correspondents' Dinner event. So yeah, they do these things. It's insane. Once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That could be confirmation bias. We're looking for problems, but yeah, I like it. I'm a huge Elvis fan. Of course, I'm a bit of a Trump fan, even though he's an actor. But he's been a damn entertaining president.
I agree. I'm the biggest Elvis fan of all time. I'm gonna tell
Oh,
you now. I am. So yeah, that's why I probably saw this. I was like, I'm seeing Elvis inside of this.
I even had a deep fried peanut butter sandwich at Graceland, and I felt really I felt like crap after that. I don't know. I don't think they use I don't think they use butter. I think they use seed oils. It was disgusting. And it was gross too. I don't get but the only good thing about Graceland is they had a charging station for my hybrid. I was very grateful. And it was free. There was no one else in there but me. So
really
there was that. We took.
What do you suppose the psyop was dying on the toilet was?
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah, he said he was all bunged up. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Graceland as well. I loved it. I think it
Yeah,
was amazing. Yeah.
it was okay. I took my time going through it, and the rest of my family, they were waiting at the on the front lawn for me to get through it. So I said, "Listen, I paid big bucks. I don't want to run through this little. It's a little house. It's not even a mansion.
Yeah.
It's a
And I'm
little
gonna
place."
tell you, yeah, but I also love, the thing about Donald Trump as an actor. I think he's such a great entertainer. And, in Sweden,
Yes,
people are
yeah.
like, they're hating him. It's like he's the most dangerous person in the world. And I'm like, before I even realized, before I woke up to all of these fake things, when I still thought that, school shootings and terrorist attacks were real, I still felt that like he's just a character, like he's harmless, like this is just funny, but people get
I
upset when
agree.
you say that
I
here.
agree.
Yeah.
I said he's the greatest troll of all time. Nobody gets that.
Yeah, nobody gets
thought
it. They
that
get
way
so upset.
until
He's a war. He's a war actor, right? Like
until
Elvis,
March
right?
13th of
Wasn't Elvis a
2020
war
when he
actor?
declared a state of national emergency and
Yeah,
kicked off the
there's
lockdown.
there is that. There is that. But
It's the war acting. It's,
but yeah, but
it's,
let's be honest, the majority of people wanted that to happen, I think. It wouldn't have happened if the majority weren't behind it. And I think he knew the majority was against, or the majority were for a lockdown. You got the young people, they don't like the system anyway, so they say this is great, we can stop working, we can do so, we can go in another direction.
I don't know. A lot of people in Texas did not like it.
No, I
A
know
lot of
that,
people
but
in Texas.
Texas is not the whole country. I would say in general, there was a
14
slight
days to flatten the curve.
there was
You
a
think people
slight
like that
edge
idea?
to those that wanted this whole thing to happen. And
What
maybe,
about all the small businesses that got put out of,
Oh,
a lot of them,
thousands of small
most of
businesses.
them haven't even recovered from
a
that.
lot of them
whole
got
thing.
Yeah, I
paid,
don't
though.
think-
There
I
was a
don't
lot
think
of money
most-
that flying around to pay them off too. I don't know about in the
I think-
U.S.
Well, yeah, a lot of people got paid off because when it started getting really bad to where it was going to get bad, then the BLM movement started happening, and then
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of insurance fraud because the business were already bankrupt. Well, especially all the downtowns in America.
But it also steered everybody towards the big corporation, the big box stores and
they were
everything that weren't closing. So, and Amazon, of course.
Yeah, well, that's it. But the young people are already going for that. So I don't know if it really accelerated it. It was just, they were just trying to shift a whole bunch of paradigms. But
The willful suspension of disbelief necessary to make a successful movie or theater production requires, as you say, the acquiescence, compliance, even enthusiasm of the audience. So you're right.
Well, they did lock down.
They calculated
The lockdowns
that the
were
COVID
real,
scam
right?
would work because the population would go along with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you were talking about it, Clay, with the surveillance. I mean, they just have everything set up because they already have the data. They just didn't have the technology, and now they got this battle management system for the civilians, and also the precursor laws to say that if you go against this, because that 2002 Minority Report, 2002 was when the anthrax attack happened, and that was a biological. Supposedly, anthrax is biological, right? So, COVID's a biological, just the increase of the surveillance, and now you have because it's not really a war on money, much less it's a war on anything tangible that you could own. Just like with that whole gaming thing with the digital buying.
Yeah.
They don't want you to own anything, and
you'll own nothing and be happy.
Well, they're going to bring the oil prices down by not letting people drive, because just like the surveillance could detect you, it could detect how far you're going. And if they say today we have a rationing for this and such miles, and
I don't buy any of those theories, Jay. I don't. I'm not.
I think another reason for the data center too is to track and trace everybody on the road, so that that's all in a database.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and then what? And then what?
then autonomous cars, autonomous driving and being
Okay.
able to shut down vehicles for any
The
reason at
15
all,
minute city. They
You
want
guys
you
are
living
just
inside the 15
you
minute
guys are
city.
just spinning all the theories that they want to rile you up. None of
Well, no,
I
I'm
don't.
just looking
None
at
of
it through
that is
COVID.
going. None of that is.
I'm
You're,
just
you're
looking at it through the COVID, and
you
when you
guys
said
are
the
just
flock
spitting
cameras,
back up the conspiracy candy. This is all. This is all fear porn, guys. You guys got to get over it.
well, no, you said it yourself with the Arkansas police and how
Yeah, I know
they
that's
it's a possibility, but if they had that with COVID, then it would have probably been 100 times worse.
No, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe they do have a
You
reason
think
to
they're
pull you.
doing all
Did
this
they
out of the
lock
best of
down people?
intentions?
Because I didn't really see
No,
that.
not really. No, you got to check. Anyway, guys, we're over time because we had a huge lineup tonight. Why don't we give everyone a final 30 seconds to say goodbye, and we'll wrap it up for the week. Okay, Jay, you go first. You had the most airtime tonight, so give your 30 seconds and say goodnight, Dick. I mean, Jay.
Well, I just wanted to say, like this show needs to be because of those laws and everything in England, and
Yes.
it's just one of those things. Like with the COVID thing, if the lockdowns did happen, then it didn't happen like that in Texas, but that's one thing that should be definitely more looked into, especially with what we see now. That's why we need more shows like this. Your show's awesome. But thank y'all for always accepting me in my call.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I agree. This show is awesome, but it's the listeners that make it awesome. Let's say George from Greece. Do you have a final comment on tonight's show?
Yes, for most of the conspiracy theories we talked about, the infrastructure is there, and new infrastructure is being built. So it remains for us to see what will happen.
Yeah. Are you worried?
I don't care anymore.
Yeah. But you're in Greece, and the Greeks are notorious for not going along with the program. Would you agree with that?
COVID showed the inverse, the opposite.
Oh, okay, so COVID disproved that theory. So the Greeks aren't really all that rebellious. They will go along if they believe in a threat.
They have been completely globalized and pulverized by the West.
No. Okay, so Greece is fallen. Okay, all right. Well, you're on the front lines there, so you would know. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Well, thank you, George. Join in anytime. I like your name, George GPT. So you're an AI bot.
So a chatbot, yes.
George bot. Okay. Thank you, George. Thank you for calling in. Next on the list is Ellen. Ellen, do you have a final comment for tonight's show?
Yeah, just want to say thank you again for this great show and all of the work that you've done because, as I told you last time when I called in that it was only a few months ago, I realized all of these things and since I found you, I really see the world as a better place. I mean, the psychopaths that are running this world are awful, obviously, but people in general are so much better than what they portray people as. So yeah, I'm
They're
not
all here
scared of.
too. They're all here. You can see all the great people. I'm trying to deprogram a couple callers here and there that are really buying the candy, but I think for the most part, the world's a pretty great place. And
It is, and people are not shooting up schools. That there are not like home invasions, like the Brian Coburg thing, like all of those things that I kind of was scared of before. It's just gone, and I mean, it's so much better. So I'm really grateful for that. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. I'm only afraid of the people around me that are afraid because they're dangerous. Afraid people are dangerous because they're frantic, they're nervous, they can lash out. So it's the people around us that are programmed. They're kind of dangerous in a way. So
And it's kind of sad that they don't want to hear about it. When you say that, all of these things were fake, and they're just like, no, now we're having a psychosis. Like, no, I don't want. And I'm like, no, I woke up from the psychosis.
Yeah,
It's like you're
exactly.
still in it. So yeah.
Yeah, you got it. All right. Thank you, Ellen. Call in anytime or come on
Thank you
into
very
the
much.
studio anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. There goes Ellen. There goes George and Cam. Well, let's talk to you one last time, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. I have to comment that there is so many videos on Europeans coming to America that make your spirit a little higher, because everyone you see has complimented you. They've been riddled with propaganda in their countries over in Europe that America is terrible and you don't go there, and it's but every video you see, people are falling in love with our country.
Yeah.
And so that's a positive thing. But I have to reiterate that I think, they did Agenda 21, Agenda 30, and the COVID thing, I think, was all beginning of their Agenda 30. They failed on 21. But I think that
well, Agenda 21 is the blueprint for the 21st century, so they didn't fail. It's still ongoing. It still has the system.
Well, I mean, they had their control system set up to be 21, but they had to postpone it till 2030.
No,
And they've acted all that out in simulation and everything, where you'll own nothing, your 15-minute cities, and the digital currency, and all of that stuff. And I think that's partially why, like I said before, that the data centers are all being put in place to keep you in the 15-minute zones, like the ULEs in Europe. They're tearing them down left and right, which is great to see. And now they're doing the flock in America from coast to coast. So like you said, you can't cross the border in Alabama without being flocked the whole way through. So they can track and trace you from border to border, north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
And so I think the data centers are just the prelude. They're getting all ready to put their Agenda 30 into place. And if anybody can prove me wrong, I'll be happy to listen. So
okay.
I know you don't agree with that so much, Tim, but that's just how I feel.
No, it's okay. I'm not worried, but I get you. Okay. Thank you, Cam.
Thank you. Really great show today.
I know. It's because of all the callers. That's why I didn't have to say much.
And sorry, Lynn got cut off quite a bit there, but
no, that's quite all right.
It's always good to hear Lynn too, up there in Baltimore.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Cam. Lynn in Maryland. One last caller is David in Kansas. Any final words?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I always like to hear Lynn too. She's really awesome.
Yeah, she's good.
So knowledgeable and just funny too.
She is funny.
Yeah. To me, COVID proved the one thing, that there is no such thing as an individual country.
Yeah.
We all the Freemasons did it was their coming out, be like, hey, we did it. Look.
You blame the Freemasons. You think
on one knee.
So you think the Freemasons were the main group behind the whole thing?
They're the soldiers. They're the soldiers, but they're not the thinkers. It's the bankers and above. They're just like the army. They don't have any mind. They just do what they're told. That's all it is. And that's all.
Okay.
But I know for a fact that in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
I think 84, 85, my ex-girlfriend's uncle actually saw on the train that they have 30,000 guillotines ready in Montana.
In Montana?
Yeah, they hit them.
Are you sure they weren't for the Are you sure they weren't for the slaughterhouses?
No, these are real guillotines. But
I want to see evidence of that. That sounds outrageous.
Okay.
Are you sure you're not just talking about Bastille Day? Didn't that just happen? Off with their heads in France?
July 15th, 14th, July 14th, July 15th is our best year.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Lynn will give us the reference there. Are you sure? Is it off with their heads in France?
Hey,
Is that what you're
listen,
talking
I want
about?
to say,
It's a sign. It's a greater sign than just the instrument itself. It's a sign of revolution. It's
Yeah.
a sign of conquering.
Yeah.
You know,
But
and
you think the
but
revolution's
if
coming out of
anything, you say-
Montana?
No, it's not so much out of Montana. It's just where they have it stored.
Okay.
You know, it's not just in Montana, but yeah, it's just where they have it stored. But
Okay, bring
you know,
pictures next week.
I do agree with almost pretty much 100% of national news is scripted, and
Okay.
so it is all fake and lies. But it's just like the Egyptians. One day we will know that we're slaves, and it's just going to be that way. So
As long as we're happy slaves, I mean, there's something to that.
That's what I say. Enjoy nature. Get outside and go for a walk and enjoy nature, because to me that's where you find the peace and not.
I was outside today in the smoke, and you wouldn't believe it, but next to my work, the building the garbage dump next door to my work was on fire. So there was thick black smoke on top of the brown smoke from 1,000 miles away. So I really got smoked out today, but I'm okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a good one. Smoke on smoke. And then there was a guy outside at work. Guess what he was doing? Smoking. How much smoke can a lung take? I thought, geez, I don't need. Thank God I don't smoke. But I almost asked him. I said, "Is there not enough smoke in the air for you? You gotta bring it in through a cigarette." I heard cigarettes are on the increase with young people. It's very disturbing. I actually saw a girl on a construction site or at a business I was at, a young girl, and she was smoking. I couldn't believe it on the job. I was stunned because you just don't see young people smoking. And she must have been 20, 21. I was going to ask her. Yeah, it was bizarre. You saw that all the time, of course, 40 years ago, right, Lynn?
Well, I thought that vaping and the e-cigarettes had pretty much replaced regular conventional
She was smoking a fag, a cigarette.
That's what the British call it, yeah.
A fag. All right, David, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me call in. I hope you guys have a wonderful night.
Oh, thank you. You too, sir. Have a good one. Call in anytime. And Lynn, I guess you're the last woman standing. Any final comments on what a big show tonight?
Well, someone mentioned the Freemasons, and we have a detailed, long, extensive thread in the Fakologist Forum.
Oh, yeah.
In the Race Riots 2020 forum that breaks down the whole George Floyd, Derek Chauvin narrative that led to months of rioting, some of the most destructive rioting the country has seen since the late 1960s.
Yeah.
And when you look at the details of that, the down on one knee,
the
kente cloth that Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them were wearing, this was definitely a Masonic psyop. There's no doubt about it. It was loaded, overloaded with Masonic symbolism. So no, I don't, and probably because of their control over police departments and fire departments. So no, and of course in the military you have the Prince Hall lodges. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't ever minimize the role that these secret societies play in staging media narratives like race riots. And I think we've made that abundantly clear in the thread on the George Floyd, Derek Chauvin story in the forum, if people want to check it out.
Fakologistforums.com. All right. Well, good show. I may be off next week. I got to take another week off. I'm way behind in my personal life and accounting and all that, so I might be off. And this is summertime. Although the problem is you guys keep coming out for the show and we get so many calls, so it's really hard to cut everyone off for a week. But if you go to fakologist.com/live, you'll see the show schedule. And if you don't see any shows, that means it's off. But you can see I've left all the regular guests in for next week. But if it goes blank, then you know that we're not doing a show. So that's next week. So you can see we've been here almost all of July, and July's supposed to be a vacation month. Are you taking vacation, Lynn?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm on
Lynn,
permanent vacation.
so you have no, you don't head out to the wherever.
No, I don't expect to be going anywhere. No.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. Who am I echoing through? I guess I'm echoing through your.
I just got hit with a major expense. I had to have a complete new heat pump, HVAC system installed because the one I had was just too old and it broke down. So.
Oh, Lynn, are you watching the new Odyssey movie?
The Odyssey, I haven't watched it yet. No.
Will you
Should
be
I?
seeing it? Will you see it?
Oh,
I
yeah, I might get around. I'm not particularly dying of interest in it. I remember Troy with Brad Pitt, and I thought that was pretty well done. But I'm certainly familiar with the Iliad and the Odyssey. I've read some of the criticisms of this current version, and it doesn't sound all that great to me, but it sounds like it's full of all kinds of contemporary agendas rather than an attempt to faithfully reflect the Iliad and the Odyssey attributed to Homer, the poem. So I don't know. I'm not all that eager to watch it, but I guess I'll get around to it.
All right. Okay, that's good. All right. Well, I don't know why I'm echoing. I'm echoing through my own box, which is bizarre. Wait, let me just turn Lynn down when I'm echoing through Lynn's speakers. All right. Well, thank you, Lynn, for joining in. I was echoing through her speakers, but now I'm not. And thanks everyone for calling in tonight. And don't forget, we have a Discord server, shortfake.com/Discord. If you want to go there, join in. You just have to voice verify. There's nothing more to it. We just want to make sure you're the avatar you say you are. We don't do anything further. So shortfake.com/Discord, and just ping the friendly admin there. I see George is over there now. So George, just you can voice verify and you'll be in, and then you can join in on the Discord. I'm fixing the Discord server, and hopefully that'll be fixed by Saturday. We usually have a show Saturday and Sunday. There's usually nothing happening in the week, but on Saturday and Sunday there'll be something going on. Hopefully, it will be recorded. I just have to fix the audio on it, and it should work. I hope it works. But anyway, so thanks everyone for joining in. Great show. Of course, it's the caller inners that make the show. And thanks everyone for giving your 2 cents. And I hope some of the people that are afraid will be less afraid and not be afraid of all the things you're told to be afraid of, because I think the world's pretty good. There's no nukes. I don't think there's no war. Really, what is there to be afraid of? Not much. Just eat properly, sleep well, and don't get all worked up over the news. And I think you're going to do really, really well. So thanks, everyone. And, maybe I'll just, for a laugh, play this band, Angine de Poitrine. I'm watching reaction videos to that, and I know people, music is extremely personal. So I don't recommend music in general to most people, because everyone has their own thing, but it is the strangest music I ever heard. It's called math music, math rock. I never heard of math rock in my life. So I just thought I would, I'll play a bit of that, and we'll go away. But thanks everyone for joining in, and we'll see you on the weekend, or maybe even Sunday. We'll see what happens. Take care.